Hey all, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going over my February book reading list. Let's just jump straight into it. So first off is a little philosophy, a little political theory, I would think. We got The Prince by Machiavelli. This, I've already started reading it. It's the end of January right now, or a few days out from February. But I finished my 2 books I wanted to read for January early. So yeah, I'm on chapter 4. The prose is really like simple in a way where it's like, when you read old stuff like the Bible or Shakespeare, the prose can be very confusing depending on like the version you're reading. The prose in this version are very like simple. So yeah, The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. I believe Machiavelli was a very ends justify the means kind of person, separating morals from statecraft, and all of that. So it's very interesting. I want to read a lot more philosophy this year. I have some Plato and Aristotle that I plan on reading, and I also just kind of want to dive into more philosophy and maybe a little bit of some spiritual texts as well later in the year, just to have some fun with my nonfiction. So yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying it. Very small read. I should hopefully have this done in a few days. Yeah, so that's what I'm reading in February and in the end of January. So yeah, Niccolo Machiavelli, The Prince. Next up, and I really love the cover that I got of this one, is Why Women Have Better Sex Under Socialism. I am definitely a leftist. I definitely tend to lean way more left on my politics. Very excited to read this. I have seen a few excerpts from this book being mentioned across TikTok from other people who've read it. I've heard of this book a few times, and I saw it at my local book thrift store, and I had to pick it up. I also just love the cover, the old Soviet Union, World War II era kind of art is really cool. So very excited to read this. Relatively small read, only about 200 pages. I love reading stuff like this, and I'm interested in the insights that I will find. Obviously, I'm already a proponent of socialism in the sense I do think it would be a better way to run things. When it comes to how things are right now in the US with our extremely unregulated capitalism. So yeah, I'm excited to see what insights this brings in and what it teaches me. So yeah, we got that. So next up, and I've already started reading this one as well, it's another Brandon Sanderson. We've got Way of Kings. This book is massive, thick. This is gonna take me all month for sure. Already loving it. I'm only 26 pages in. I just finished the Mistborn trilogy in its entirety, so just the Era 1, bawled my eyes out. I don't know what this book is going to do to me. Probably some horrible things, to be honest. It's probably going to make me weep. I don't know. I'm very excited to jump into the Stormlight Archive. Definitely super hyped. This is just book 1. And yeah, she thick, so very excited. Loving it already. Reading Mistborn, I'm like, okay, I'm sold on Sanderson. I want to read all of his stuff. So very excited to start this journey. Already started it. Hopefully I'll finish this in February. It is a thick book. It is big. So the hope is I actually can finish this. I think I will. But it is 1,000 pages. And it takes me about 20-ish days or so to finish a 700-page book. 20 to 25 days. This is 900 pages, so this will probably take me the full 30 days. Love it so far. Can't wait to see how I feel about it once I finish it. And then I've kind of got a classic, which is Women, Race, and Class by Angela Davis. Again, I kind of try to balance out what I'm reading. I'm reading one massive fiction book, and then I'm reading 3 small nonfictions. I'm going to be visiting my parents this month in the Midwest, so I'll have a little more time on my hands, so I should be able to get through these small books. This one's also, again, 200 pages, 240. Also, this copy is just it's older. I like how it looks. So yeah, excited to see what insights are in here, what I can learn. Books like these, I feel always broaden my perspectives and let me have more and more empathy for people. And I think that's why it's so important to read a good mix of your fantasy and your fiction and your romance also to some real world stuff where it's like, hey, these are things we maybe need to change. These are things that are happening in the world, that are happening to people. How can we fix that? That is kind of the balance I like to strike with what I read. My goal this year is to read 30 to 36 books. I already have 2 down. If I can get through these 4, that puts me at 6. So yeah, very excited. But yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say. I did finish the Mistborn trilogy. I have the mass market copies for Mistborn and Hero of Ages, but then I did find this nice copy of Well of Ascension. These books were amazing. Just short review, like 5 out of 5 for the entire series. So good. I mean, Hero of Ages, solid 5 out of 5. 4.8. And then 5. The first one I would say is also like a good 4.8. Hero of Ages is flawless to me. This is a really solid book. Any book that can make me cry, very heartfelt tears, is a win in my book. And this book gutted me. So, Hero of Ages, highly recommend. Mistborn, I mean, you have to read all of them because it's a trilogy. Mistborn is so good. Well of Ascension is so good. They're great. They're fantastic. I plan on hopefully donating these copies and upgrading to some either hardcovers for my shelf or something in the future for the rest of the Mistborn novels. I'd like to get some nicer copies, and then I'll loan these ones out to my friends or put them at my local little community library at the coffee shop. But yeah, that is it. So, February, Way of Kings, Race, Women, and Class by Angela Davis, Women Have Better Sex Under Socialism, and The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. So, let me know what you're planning to read this February. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time.